Hi, it's Brian from ATS. Welcome everybody to the ATS Training Advanced Selling Skills program. Today we'll be reviewing time management. As we've discussed before, you can only manage what you can measure. Therefore, it's very important that we start to look at all of the things we need to measure before we can really set a diary or a time management schedule that will suit what we need to do. So what are the sorts of things that we may need to measure? I think it's important that we start to look at the numbers and what we actually do. Numbers such as hit rates. Now, in case anybody isn't quite sure what I mean by hit rates, these could be how many appointments do we need to go on before we actually make a sale. Or it may be how many telephone calls do we need to make before we get an appointment. If we can start to understand those hit rates or ratios, it will tell us how many telephone calls we need to make or how many visits we may need to make before we can actually set up a diary to help us achieve what we need to do. If we know what we want to achieve from our goal setting, then our hit rates can help us to work out how much time we need to spend on each task. When we set our goals, and for example, if we set our goal at 140% of target, we may need to come back and look at these hit rates to make sure that this goal is achievable or to see what we need to change to make it achievable. In Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he looked at where do people work and how do they work. Now, the 4 quadrants we have on the screen are: number 1, important and urgent. Number 2, important and not urgent. Number 3, not important but urgent. And number 4, not important or urgent. As previously discussed at the training, most people spend their time during their week in quadrant 3, doing things that were not important but urgent. So in many cases, we're doing work in our jobs daily that isn't that important to us. However, it has become urgent, not necessarily because of us. It may be because of other people telling us we need to do things. It could possibly be, though, that we've left things to the last moment instead of preparing things the right way. However, we really need to be in quadrant 2, where we're doing things that are important but not urgent. This means when we're doing the things that are important to us, they're not urgent, that we're doing them in an environment where we're not stressed, we're not hassled, and we're actually thinking clearly. What this means is we need to get out of working in the other 3 quadrants. Life in number 2 is a hell of a lot better way to live, as we're always doing what is important and not doing it while stressed. Before we can start to build the correct diary, we need to look at what we currently do in a week or a day, and how do we spend our time, and is it on those important issues. The statistics from the ATS courses show that on average, most salespeople spend 55% of their average week dealing with customer sales issues. If the average salesperson increased this to spend 80% of their time on customer sales issues, that would mean an increase of 45% more of your time in front of customers. If you multiply those by your current results, I'm sure you'll find there would be an enormous difference and an enormous change to what you're currently achieving in the world of sales. If you added on that 45%, I'm sure most of the people in this room would be well and truly overachieving what they actually need to do on a day-to-day basis. Now, what comes with setting up your time management the right way, knowing your key numbers and your hit rates, and doing what's important? Well, the answer is excellent results. What comes with excellent results is less stress in your life, and with less stress in your life, you're far more comfortable to say things to customers to encourage them to come on board. You're not scared of losing customers, and all of a sudden, your confidence is sky high. The numbers tend to multiply, and the results are amazing. So what I encourage you to do now is firstly set a work goal, then analyze what you did in your last full working week. Then try to work out a schedule based on doing the important things that are going to help you achieve your work goal. So that's it for this session. So until next time, remember, if you don't change anything, nothing changes.